cross actually from Luke Shaw, because they're three giant centre-halves that the Danes have in Christensen, Kjær and Vestergaard, so anything in the air, you maybe expect those three to deal with it, so maybe zip that ball into the attacker's feet.
Stones. It's gone for Delaney. Naylor's on his way. Walker's got the problem. Walker's solved the problem. Stones out for Kane. His welcoming touch was neat. Phillips going long, Saka prepared to chase. Unable to keep it from going behind. His selection, Andy?
I absolutely believe he should be in the starting 11. He brings a dynamism and a drive to the England team, which I don't think we get with other players. And has the versatility to drop back, help out defensively as well. But that's not a bad idea, that ball over the top, because the Danes do play a fairly high line, so get them thinking, balls into feet maybe with Kane and Sterling. And with Saka, they can just drift that ball over the top and turn them around.
Brathwaite, Dolberg, Struger Larsen, Damsgaard's on his way. Walker's got to catch him up. Walker's caught him up.
Oh, Stones and Maguire get sucked towards the halfway line. They're opened up really easily here, England. Just the sheer pace of Kyle Walker. We've seen that before in this tournament, just sprinting back, getting goal side of Damsgaard. But England, a little bit too easy to get through there.
Kjær. Brathwaite. Two very recent meetings between these nations. Both of them were cagey games. Goal was drawn in Copenhagen. Denmark's 1-0 win. The last, as mentioned, to win at Wembley from out of the away dressing room in October of last year. Won it by a Christian Eriksen penalty for a foul, actually, by Kyle Walker on Thomas Delaney. It was a contentious one, softish penalty, but won it. England's last victory over Denmark was by a Daniel Sturridge goal in a friendly in March of 2014. But historically, there ain't much between them. Nor has there been for 10 minutes here. Walker, Mount. Walker, Phillips, little pocket of space, Mount. Saka, Mount. Phillips. In by Mount. Nicked out by Kjær. Further clear by Delaney. Mason Mount again for England. Seeing a lot of the ball early here. It's Mason Mount again. Squeezed out of play by Vestergaard, England's corner.
Yeah, he's unlucky. He just takes a slightly heavy touch. He really runs into Vestergaard there. His touch is a little bit better. He can keep it closer to his feet, and has a good chance of getting a shot in, at very worst a cross, but it just gets away from his reaction. Tells you he should have done a bit better.
Kane behind the penalty spot in the company of Stones and Maguire, a centre-forward and two centre-halves. By Mount, by Struger Larsen, protected here by Phillips, but not for long, and Damsgaard can break, and Dolberg's ahead of him. Walker's intervention was key. Delaney, though, has played it early. Kane. Sterling. Raheem Sterling! Without real bite.
That's where he wanted to be, isolated up against Christensen, dropping the shoulder onto his favoured right foot, just doesn't get a clean connection on the strike. He really scuffs it, comes off his ankle. He should be passing that towards one of the corners and really testing Schmeichel.
The Champions League finalists in each other's company there, Sterling and Christensen. Christensen, of course, part of a Chelsea side that was here for the FA Cup final. The back end of the English domestic season. Kasper Schmeichel in the Danish goal is the last man to lift a trophy on this ground. And now, of course, in Rome at the weekend, Gareth Southgate had been able to celebrate England's first goal from Harry Kane. An instant breakthrough this time. The previous knockout game against Germany took until the last quarter of an hour. Doesn't matter when it comes, just that it comes. Sure. Stones. Walker. Harry Kane. Instinct.
His positioning is excellent, and the ball into him is really fast and pacey. It's a difficult ball to actually take down. He does ever so well. I think Denmark have to close him down a bit quicker than that. Far too easy for him to turn and get his shot away. And you know, he's found his scoring boots in the last couple of matches.
Oddly enough, Kasper Schmeichel is his favourite goalkeeper. Harry Kane has no fewer than 14 club goals against Kasper Schmeichel. 2 Premier League hat-tricks.
I'm sure that both Schmeichel and Kane are well aware of the situation between them.
Well, Phillips caught on it, and this is dangerous for England now. Højbjerg got away a shot, but Pickford was behind it. And Pickford's clearance wasn't good. Damsgaard, Brathwaite! Deflection corner.
That's two really poor pieces of play from England there. First, Calvin Phillips getting caught on the ball, good pressure high up the pitch, and then Pickford. That's a shocking throw out, piles pressure on his team. And then the deflection from Stones just takes it wide of the target, but England can't afford to make mistakes like that, or the Danes will pounce.
He's 10 minutes away now, Jordan Pickford, from an English national record for minutes without conceding. He's 10 minutes away from Gordon Banks, and he did that. And the Danes are piling the pressure onto him. A crowd scene inside the England 6-yard box. Then by Struger Larsen, Pickford came through that crowd. Saka had a bit of a touch. Højbjerg redistributes. Struger Larsen. Mount stayed on his feet. And what a free kick.
It's a great piece of defending from Mason Mount, because England, if it looked like they cleared the danger from the set piece, were under a lot of pressure. It would have been easy for Struger Larsen maybe to whip that ball in, if not for Mason Mount closing him down and staying on his feet, watching the ball, doing the defensive basics really well there. It's a slightly heavy touch from Struger Larsen as well, which encourages Mount in. Look at the pressure that they're putting on Jordan Pickford. And Pickford has to be brave, he has to come through his own players, let alone the Danish players. He has to get to that ball.
Three or four uplifting minutes for the Danes. Spending much of the first quarter of an hour in their own half.
Those England errors, Calvin Phillips and Jordan Pickford, they will encourage the Danes and maybe just sow a seed of doubt in England defensively. think so far Denmark are getting the defensive balance right. At times they're pressing, at times they're sitting off with a good defensive shape in their own half. They're getting the balance absolutely right. They're not just doing one thing or the other, they're just mixing, you know, how they defend. And again, England, in an attacking sense, have to think maybe differently.
Delaney. Hobia has gone over. Denmark have a free kick. Rice is the offender.
Rice was slightly late. He's right side of his man. He seems to just go through his man in trying to get to the ball. That is an individual battle. Two really strong men in the middle of the pitch, Rice and Hobia.
Emil Hobia, one of three Danes who has played every single minute of the tournament to this point. 5 sets of 90 minutes. Stryger Larsen and Mikkel Damsgaard behind the ball. Running by Stryger Larsen beyond Dolberg, indeed beyond anyone and everyone. Stryger Larsen was hard at the back of Sterling there.
Sterling's such a danger man. You can understand that every time the ball is played his way, the Danish defender, whoever it might be, is going to get really tight with him. But Stryger Larsen then just oversteps the mark and clearly fouls him, relieves all the pressure that England were under.
Led by Rice. Walker. He has been exceptionally efficient in that pivotal, substantial but often unnoticed midfield role for Denmark. Stones not on the turn. Vestergaard stepped in through him. Delaney got a piece of that. Stones and Maguire had to sort it out. Walker's there to help. Rice ran into trouble. Brathwaite. And Stryger Larsen of Udinese in Italy's Serie A.
Great piece of defending there from Denmark. As a team, they sat in their own half, frustrated England, and then, when the time was right, stepped into the England half, bit into challenges and won the ball back. An example of what I was talking about, getting the defensive balance just right.
Larsen and the Damsgaard of Sampdoria would perhaps be the two Danes, because of their club affiliations, who would relish particularly a final against Italy on Sunday. And this fella, Simon Kjær of Milan. Hobia. Christensen. Incidentally wins his 113th cap tonight, which makes him alone the third most capped player in the history of Danish international football. He goes ahead of Jon Dahl Tomasson and behind just Peter Schmeichel and Dennis Rommedahl. Terrific with Rommedahl in the early part of this century.
It's a really good spell for the Danes, controlling the tempo of the game, taking the sting out of it. For that England win against Ukraine, I think many England fans thought this was going to be a breeze, this semi-final. Just a case of turning up and win it, but I think the last 10-15 minutes have shown, you know, just how dangerous, just how good Denmark can be.
Kjær, Delaney, Hobia, Damsgaard, Mæhle. Højbjerg, Dolberg twisting, Struger Larsen, Brathwaite. Mæhle was on his way, Walker saw the danger.
Yeah, just the angle of the forward ball was all wrong, right into the feet of Kyle Walker, but Mæhle was in behind. I think Walker had seen him, just needed a lofted ball or a better angled ball for the left wing back to get in.
Saka up to his tricks. Mæhle stuck to him, but it is an England ball. Mæhle is the other outfield player in the Danish 11, not even to have been subbed for a minute in the tournament so far. Larsen. Maguire back by Højbjerg. Brought down by Rice. Taken as he turned by Kane. It's a good clean challenge though from Vestergaard. Kept moving by Delaney. Nudged away by Maguire. It's come to Damsgaard. And now Dolberg. Damsgaard. Damsgaard! Genuine threat. He is bright, this boy.
Yeah, he started the game really well. He gets himself into pockets of space all over the kind of front line. Started with a great clean challenge from Vestergaard to get the Danes on the front foot. You saw what Chiesa could do from a very similar position in the semi-final yesterday. That's exactly what Damsgaard is looking to do, just wrap his foot around the ball and not that far away. But he's an intelligent striker, playing off Dolberg in pockets of space, getting the ball into feet, turning and looking to get killer passes in or get shots away.
Turned 21 on Saturday. On the day of the quarter-final against the Czech Republic, it was he, Mikkel Damsgaard, who scored the breakthrough goal against Russia in the final group game, which was, in effect for Denmark, of course, itself a knockout game. In a sense, they've played 3 knockout games in a row. Had to win them all, did win them all. Saka. Just too elusive, too slippery. Wins England a free kick.
I think Mæhle's complaining that actually Saka fouled him first. Let's see whether Saka does grab hold of him. I think Saka's generally trying to get to the ball. Mæhle's not going to get to it, and he does seem to step across the England man.
Well, those with a taste and a memory for England's semi-finals will remember a free kick from this sort of range against Croatia 3 years ago, which Kieran Trippier fired home spectacularly. This time played in by Mason Mount towards Maguire. Nicked out by Kerr. Recycled for Shaw. Aimed in at Harry Kane. Should be kept alive by Mount. Phillips. But this time had nowhere to go. Mæhle. Long for Brathwaite. Walker's in charge.
Yeah, England put 2 really dangerous balls into the box, but you see the difficulty they're going to have aerially, and in winning battles, getting your head on those crosses. Maguire, it's not going to be easy. Kane either.
And they've got away for Raheem Sterling, who hasn't done too much to leave England's painted faces showing signs of disappointment. Sterling has come to life for the tournament. 3 goals in the tournament up to now, and plenty else besides. 15 goals in his last 21 internationals. Here's Dolberg. Shaken off it by Mount, who is penalised.
That's really strong play, good turn from Kasper Dolberg to get away from Declan Rice. It's the fact that Mount actually steps across and raises that right arm into the face of Dolberg. That's why the free kick has been given. Well, the last free kick that Stringer Larsson took from this position, it was an awful ball in. If you consider the targets that he's got, Christensen, Kjær, Vestergaard, all the big centre-halves are in there. He should be hitting at least one of those three.
Even by modern standards, it is a very, very big Denmark team.
You look at England's high defensive line, that is because of those giant players who want to keep them out of your penalty area.
Vestergaard there is the biggest of them all. Christensen over his shoulder, Dolberg right in the thick of the pack with Brathwaite. Damsgaard and Stringer Larsson conspiring. Sent by Stringer Larsson. The referee has awarded another free kick to Denmark. 15-20 yards closer to goal.
Yeah, there's a crowd scene there. It was Christensen who was just clearly being held by Luke Shaw. I think he makes a meal of it as well. He throws himself to the ground, but Luke Shaw is grabbing hold of him. That's not defending, it's running a risk. And he's got the Danes closer to Jordan Pickford's goal.
Well, this one is an entirely different kettle of fish. Mikkel Damsgaard has measured out a run. Stringer Larsson is adjacent to the dead ball.
Yeah, it's a nice distance for a free kick taker. It gives you the opportunity to get it up and down quickly.
Damsgaard! Oh, it's a diamond! That is Danish dynamite! Damsgaard with an absolute fizzer, and Pickford was clawing empty air.
Oh, it's no more than the Danes deserve. The last 15 minutes they have been excellent, but this is the sweetest of free kicks. When you consider the pressure that both teams are under, to produce a quality strike like this is extraordinary. It's unsavable. I did mention the distance from goal is perfect for the free kick taker, for getting it up and down, and that's exactly what Damsgaard does. He's got the accuracy, he's got the power. You know, it's past Jordan Pickford before he can really get anywhere near it. Calvin Phillips is lying on the floor, but the Danes aren't going to go underneath the wall. They're going to go over it, and Damsgaard has picked out an absolute beauty.
The boy who just turned man, days after his 21st birthday, has scored the goal of Danish dreams. The first goal that England have conceded at UEFA Euro 2020. And you've got to say, it was a beauty.
Yeah, as soon as he struck it and it cleared the wall, you knew Jordan Pickford was in trouble. An exquisite free kick, wonderful technique.
Jordan Pickford, 5 minutes beyond having broken the English goalkeeping record after more than 700 minutes without conceding a goal. Allows one past him via the right foot of Mikkel Damsgaard. And just by way of extending that piece of historical note, when Gordon Banks, the previous record holder, was eventually beaten, it was in the 1966 World Cup semi-final, which England won, and the goal scorer then, Eusebio.
Well, if you see where the ball goes into the net, I think maybe Jordan Pickford will think that could he have possibly done better. It's not right in the top corner, but the problem is, I think the pace that's on the ball, the height that's on it, the dip, makes it incredibly difficult to save it. It's really travelling.
And it was the first goal scored from a direct free kick at the tournament. It has taken until match 50 of 51 for a direct free kick to hit the net. Boy, did that one hit the net. Now, the question asked of England in advance by some, how would they react if they went behind? They have not been behind before.
Well, what you can't do is panic. I'm sure that Gareth Southgate has spoke to his players about this situation happening. There can be a bit of attacking brilliance from your opponents, or a mistake of your own. It can prove costly, but you've just got to settle yourselves down. The next 5 minutes, just work your way back into the game. The Danes were in total control of the game before they scored, so England have to wrestle that back.
Pickford's clearance wasn't great. Down by Dolberg for Brathwaite. Struger Larsen. Damsgaard believing in everything now.
Yeah, just watching Damsgaard, it's reminding me of Dani Olmo's performance in that first semi-final for Spain when he was dropping into pockets of space and always available for a forward pass, and the England midfield just aren't able to deal with him.
Mount for England, Sterling for England. Chasing away from Højbjerg, leaving Højbjerg behind. Sterling, Phillips, nicked away by Mæhle, taken on by Damsgaard. Very few out-sprint Kyle Walker.
What are we reckoning tonight, Pete? About 52,000 England fans in Wembley. They have been absolutely stunned with the brilliance of that Damsgaard free kick. Talk about the players kind of getting a foothold again in the game. I think the fans have to find their voices once more.
Harry Kane. Foul by Delaney. England's free kick. Plumb centre. Position A1.
And intelligent from Harry Kane, dropping into space, getting the ball into his feet, driving it. Danish defence, and Delaney, he's never going to get to that ball without catching Harry Kane first, so it's a bit of a naive challenge. I think Delaney's worried about Harry Kane shooting, so that's why he lunges in, but this is a great opportunity. England have, 4 or 5 players who could ping this ball into the top corner.
5 minutes since the first successful direct free kick of Euro 2020. England plot what they hope will be a restorative second. Luke Shaw offers his left boot to it. Raheem Sterling directly behind the ball. Mason Mount is the third conspirator.
Well, it's not going to be easy because the Danish wall is huge.
Sterling into that huge wall.
That's not a bad stripe I just mentioned there. The Danish wall had giants in it. Really difficult to get it up and over such a big wall. Once it jumps, no chance. It's brilliant defending from Kjær.
Calm individual. Blessed, each of them, with the perspective. They're coiling up to go long. Nicked on by Maguire. Retrieved by Kane. Going round Struger Larsen. Headed out by Kjær. It's a tidy take from Brathwaite. He squeezed it out to Mæhle, and Damsgaard's through the middle. And Mæhle has found Brathwaite. And now Højbjerg. It's Højbjerg's cross beyond Dolberg. And a very promising Danish moment has come to naught.
How swift was that counter-attack? I was a bit worried about maybe the Danish energy levels after the game against the Czech Republic, but they were piling forward there.
Danish scorers in their 3 previous semi-finals. Søren Lerby, legend of his day, Euro 1984 against Spain. And the game they went on to lose on penalties, and in Euro 1992, their year, Henrik Larsson got both against the Netherlands. Kane, and Sterling, oh what a save! What a save from Kasper Schmeichel! With zero reaction time, Sterling was simply going to score.
Yeah, the same is all about positioning. Brilliant play. It's Harry Kane again, the creator. Dangerous ball in. Sterling does well. He wrestles his way to the ball at the far post. He does everything right. Great contact. But where Kasper Schmeichel is standing is where the ball ends up. And it's a sensational block, really, from the Danish keeper.
Kane, he's found Saka. Bukayo Saka, Sterling now! England snatch it back! Kerr sliding in with Sterling, maybe debited. Identity matters little to Southgate and to all beneath the flag of St George. Parity is restored and Wembley bounces.
That's a great response from England after being under the cosh, conceding. We wondered how they would react to conceding their first goal of the tournament. But again, it's Harry Kane, the creator. The Danish defenders are all ball-watching. I did mention after about 10 minutes, the ability of Bukayo Saka to run in behind the Danish defence. That's what he does here. Kane sees that. And it's a horrible position, really, for Simon Kjær to be in. You know, facing his own goal, under pressure from Raheem Sterling. Such an intelligent cross, though, from Saka. It takes Kasper Schmeichel out of the game. And it's a lightning reaction from England to make it 1-1. It's a super goal.
For Simon Kjær, perhaps the human being of this tournament. An honour he possibly shares with Kasper Schmeichel, who had just made one of the saves of the tournament, but who was exposed beyond salvation then. And it is remarkably the 11th own goal of the tournament.
Yeah, it's the last thing the Danes want. When you're playing with three really solid centre-halves, you don't want to get turned around. Players with pace running in behind you is an absolute nightmare. You want your opponents to play in front of you, put crosses in that you can deal with. Once you get turned around, you're in big trouble. That's exactly what Kane and England did.
Damsgaard, Dolberg, Mæhle, Dolberg. Spread for Sture Larsen. Face to face with Shaw. Højbjerg.
Again, really underlines the importance of an individual like Harry Kane. As a team, England weren't really dominating the game. You get Kane on the ball, whether it be in front of goal or creating opportunities, and he will hurt any team.
Kjær. There's a single individual in any one of the 24 nations who've participated over the last month. He's the one who doesn't deserve to score an own goal. Rice has caught up Brathwaite. And all of it within moments of this extraordinary stop.
Yeah, it's his positioning. You know, see how he's moving his feet. He's moving across his goal line to his right. He's in a position for the ball to hit him. Now, for a goalkeeper, it's not how you keep him out, but that you keep him out. But not long after that, Saka gets in behind, and there's nothing Schmeichel can do here. It's such an intelligent cross. You've got a centre-half running back towards his own goal. Inevitably, he turns it past Kasper Schmeichel, and it's 1-1.
Between the save and the goal, 48 seconds. Mount. Incidentally, tonight is the 200th Danish international, wherein the Danish goalkeeper's shirt has been worn by a Schmeichel. of one sort or another. Peter 129, Casper 71 tonight.
Does Casper have children?
Yeah. Shaw. Half time. Feels as though it's only just begun. Kane. Stones. Saka. Walker. Saka. Phillips. By Vestergaard. Maguire. Rice. Phillips. Walker. Clouted that right across the face. Shaw can return it. He's clouted it too. Stones. Rice. Mount. Shaw. Sterling. Kane. Maguire. Phillips. Kane. Mount. Sterling. Kane. Trying something cute, which was read by Kerr. Well, England have answered the question. How would they react to going behind? Not a second to add on, not a second wasted. Another truly engaging semi-final at these European Championships, which included a beautiful goal from Mikkel Damsgaard, a free kick that flew beyond Pickford, and an unfortunate own goal from Simon Kjær, which was scored way out of the reach of Kasper Schmeichel. And so we reach half-time at the same point as we began, all square. It is England 1, Denmark 1, Italy wait and wonder.
Many thanks to our match commentary team of Peter Drury and Andy Hinchcliffe, and the tests and the questions that everyone has on their minds. If England can come back from being a goal down, which they haven't been yet in this tournament up until now, well, you have the answer. We go into half-time with a goal each, 1-1.
We've been talking about this for months. I'm sorry, I'll call you back.
Give your phone a break and be there for life's beautiful moments. To beautiful moments. Vivo.
All new Nivea Men Cool Kick deodorant with 5 times action, anti-odor and sweat. For lasting dryness, freshness, and masculine scent all day. Get it now. Also a new energy fresh scent. Nivea Men, it starts with you. While watching your favorite game this season, join Nivea Men Imay Padang FIFA Challenge. Sign up now.
Challenges keep coming. I keep rising to them. If dandruff keeps coming back, I have Clear Men. New triple anti-dandruff technology. Activate scalp to remove, resist, prevent dandruff. For 100% confidence, clear and recurring dandruff.
Hari ceria, sarapan sedap. Siap sedia untuk bekerja. Putar kunci, hidup enjin.
Baru sedar tamat tempoh cukai jalan.
Tidak lagi dengan MyEG. Transaksi pintar hanya di hujung jari. Hanya login, typekan maklumat yang diperlukan, buat pembayaran dan penghantaran yang cepat akan sampai di depan rumah anda. Dengan MyEG, cukai jalan dan insurans motosikal boleh dibereskan di mana jua anda berada. Tunggu apa lagi? MyEG lah!
Saya sanggup buat apa saja demi anak-anak dan keluarga tercinta. Kerana mereka, saya nak buat yang terbaik untuk hidup. Walaupun beza dulu dan sekarang, saya kena bijak, gigih, tabah untuk mengatasi apa jua masalah.
Percaya apa kau lakukan.
Tebus subsidi jaringan prihatin anda dan 60 GB internet pantas prihatin sebulan percuma dengan Maxis dan Hotlink sekarang.
Thanks for staying with us here on Astro Supersport. The second semi-final of the UEFA Euro 2020 at halftime at the moment in Wembley is a goal apiece. It is 1-1 at halftime. Mikkel Damsgaard being the first player to break the deadlock of that England defence this tournament so far. And his role for Denmark as well was unexpected, and it was all because of Christian Eriksen and what has happened that Damsgaard has played such an essential role. In fact, for Denmark, Damsgaard is now the youngest Danish goal scorer in the knockout stages in Euros history as well. Definitely making a huge mark there. This is your Hisense halftime report, the official partner of UEFA Euro 2020, your home, your stadium. And alongside me, Tony Adams is here, as well as Alison Bender. But a quick look on social media and all your comments as well that you sent us to us via Stadium Astro. This is Vivo, your voice, Vivo X60 series, photography redefined, co-engineered with Zeiss. And this is from Charity, and it says that goal was absolutely breathtaking. What a way to score the first free kick of the tournament. Tony, I mean, even as an England supporter, even as an ex-England international as well, you've got to give credit to Damsgaard on the beauty of this free kick.
Wonderful, wonderful technique. What a match, what a game, and what a tournament this is. You know, it's fantastic stuff. But yeah, great technique, but it should never have been a free kick in the first place. You know, there was a little bit of a coming together with Shaw, and he's gone to the ground very easily, the Danish player there. He's gone to the ground very easily. Should never have been a free kick.
Alison,
he's holding on to Christensen there. You know, he's hardly making any contact whatsoever. He's just kind of holding him, and they've got the free kick. But credit to where credit's due. What a fantastic technique. Wonderful, wonderful David Beckham-esque free kick from Damsgaard. He's got his receding hair is worse than mine, I think. But what a great free kick, and Pickford's got no chance there.
Well, Alison, you were there in the stadium as well. This is the first time that England's gone behind in a tournament. It's been one of the question marks surrounding this England side. I mean, the other thing as well is the pressure from fans that England will have to deal with if they do go behind. How has the fans reacted in the stadium?
Yeah, we don't have the best connection, Michelle. I lost you there, but talking about going a goal down, it's true. England have obviously not conceded so far. And so I thought it would be interesting to see how they responded. And the England fans have certainly been, clapping and trying to encourage the team. But it has to be said, it was a glorious free kick. Some people are saying that Jordan Pickford perhaps should have done better. But it was just, I don't think there's anything he could have done. It was just, I mean, it takes something special to beat Pickford, doesn't it, at this tournament so far? He's been absolutely brilliant. And I just think it's really important to see how England respond. And obviously they have with a goal. But we want to see more. I'd like to see more from the fans. I think I'd like to see a substitution from Gareth Southgate. I was just chatting to Andros Townsend. Obviously, he's watching alongside me. And he was saying that, perhaps if they were to bring on someone like a crowd favourite like Jack Grealish, if he was to start warming up, it would really lift the crowd here. And I think that would be really important. And I don't think he'll come on at half-time, but, perhaps, I don't know, about 55 minutes or something like that. But if we see him warming up, that will give the crowd something to be excited about.
Yeah, Jordan Pickford, before that goal conceded as well, has set the brand new record for England in goalkeepers for the most minutes without conceding. But Tony, how do you think England responded since going behind?
Brilliantly, absolutely. They started the match well, and Denmark came into the game, got the free kick, but then they bounced right back and took the game to them. And a fantastic save here. I'd like to say save rather than miss, to be honest with you, because he's got himself in there. And their response was first class with that, and they've missed that one. But then they've gone and created this, Harry Kane's been doing this for years. Comes off short, feeds people in, and what a wonderful, to be honest with you, we usually got Sterling running in behind. This time it was Saka running in behind. There you go. Harry Kane's come off again. Slid, make goals, score goals, Harry Kane. Wonderful, wonderful striker, hold up play, and a fantastic. We're back in the game. It's 1-1.
Well, Alison, since that goal went in for the equaliser goal for England, surely where you're sitting at the moment, the crowd must have been roaring since then.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. I can just show you roughly. We're in a very privileged position here, myself and Andros Townsend, who will probably give you a little wave just there. Tony Adams is waving back at you. It's just, we've got England fans just to the left of us. Obviously, 60,000 fans in here. The majority of them are England fans. There's about 5,000 Denmark fans, obviously those living in the UK. But yeah, there was an almighty roar, and we really want to see a response. Both Andros and myself were here last night. We saw extra time and penalty shootout, and we've decided we do not want to see that at the end of this evening. So come on, England. But it has been tough. It has to be said, the Danes they're very disciplined at the back. They've got some excellent, Vestergaard has just looked phenomenal, hasn't he? And, Højbjerg, we know how good he is just sitting in front. They are going to be very, very difficult to break down. Raheem Sterling has had a couple of chances. I'd like to see a little bit more from him. But yeah, come on, England.
Well, thanks to Alison and thanks to Tony as well. If it is to England's perspective, then most of the goals conceded from by Denmark actually, has happened in the second half. So there's plenty of chances for England to capitalise on that and perhaps nick the win as well for the semi-final and make their way to the final of UEFA Euro 2020. We'll go for a quick commercial break, then we'll bring you the second half over in Wembley.
All new Nivea Men Cool Kick Deodorant with 5 times action, anti-odor and sweat. For lasting dryness, freshness, and masculine scent all day. Get it now. Also a new energy fresh scent. Nivea Men, it starts with you. While watching your favorite game this season, join Nivea Men Imay Padang FIFA Challenge. Sign up now.
We've been talking about this for months. I'm sorry, I'll call you back.
Give your phone a break and be there for life's beautiful moments. To beautiful moments. Vivo.
People think I'm too quiet, too awkward. That I don't fit the box of what an Olympian should be. But I'm proof that the definition is bigger than people think. I want to inspire the girls out there watching right now. The ones some people think are too different, too quiet, too something. And if we don't fit that expectation of what people think we're supposed to be, Good. That just means we're the ones who get to change it.
Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. Live on Astro.
Astro Movies Pack customer, we have great news for you. Now, your subscription now has Disney Plus Hotstar. How to know if you're a Movies Pack customer? It's easy. If you have movie channels like Fox Movies and HBO, then you are a Movies Pack customer. Activate your entitlement at astro.com.ny/Disney. Then you can start streaming Loki, The Mandalorian, and so much more. Hurry up and activate it now. Thanks for staying with us here on Astro Supersport. It looks like we are just about getting ready for kickoff of the second half over at Wembley between these two sides. It is a draw at the moment. But Tony, I mean, if you were Gareth Southgate, would you change anything in the second half? Would you bring on a different player to add on a different dynamic?
Yeah, absolutely. Alisson was talking about that with Andreas, about maybe bringing Grealish in to bringing him on to lift the crowd, and I don't think this crowd needs much lifting. It's electric there. My nerves are on edge, but he's going to be the substitute again. I've got to, JJ's not here at the moment, but Denmark are doing really well. They've really impressed me, and I don't want to speak too much. So I think it might be a substitute, a Grealish, a Sancho that comes on and turns the game England's way.
Brilliant stuff, Tony. Fingers crossed for the second half on behalf of England and for you as well, and Gareth Southgate, of course. We're ready to pass you back onto our match commentary team over in Wembley with Peter Drury and Andy Hinchcliffe.
The scorers, both Danish. One credited, one debited. As tight as you like. Uncomfortably tight. England's last three major semi-finals have gone to extra time. Two of them have gone to penalties. Denmark's last two major semi-finals went to extra time and penalties. Neither nation does this simply. And there is nothing to this point this evening to suggest that either is likely to pull away. Shaw over the top for Sterling, who became entangled in Simon Kjær.
We may see England do that more and more, just lock balls in behind that big trio of solid centre-halves, just turn the Danes around. That's what happened for the goal. Raheem Sterling looking to get in behind them there.
Scorer for England in the World Cup quarter-final and the European Championship quarter-final. Rice. Off by the ubiquitous Højbjerg. He really does pop up wherever he needs to pop up. Damsgaard. First season with Tottenham in the English Premier League. Snatched throw from his club home. He was representing his nation more than ably. Phillips. Oh, Saka. And into the back of Vestergaard, and he has got himself a free kick.
Yeah, every time Saka picks up the ball, he drives it at defenders. This is not where Vestergaard wants to be. Big, tall, rangy centre-half, isolated against someone who's very quick, very positive. Gets caught out there, mistimes the challenge, and cheap free kick to give away. Positive play from Saka once again.
So Mount and Saka between them overseeing the set piece, two in the Danish wall. Kane furthest advanced for England. Maguire behind him, Rice behind him, Stones behind him. And Raheem Sterling stationed pretty close to the penalty spot there. Not a few anxious faces behind the goal. Lifted in by Mount, by Maguire at full tilt and bruisingly. And he's in the book. Kerr felt it.
Well, Maguire is the obvious target for England free kicks. That ball gets whipped in. Does he just attack it? Does he do anything a little bit more? Is it dangerous? I think it's that raised arm. That's the problem, the arm into the face of Kerr. That's why he's been booked.
Harry Maguire would argue that's what he does in the natural scheme of things.
And also it's probably saying, look, I'm jumping, I'm moving towards goal. I'm in many ways protecting myself by raising the arm. It's not a swinging arm, I'm not looking to hurt anybody. I'm just, it naturally comes up, and it's clearly a painful one for Kerr, but I don't think there's any intent there at all from Harry Maguire.
And Maguire perhaps more motivated even than normal on this occasion, having been sent off against Denmark last October.
That's a free kick we're seeing again, isn't it? Just sensational technique. And to get the power and the precision up and over the wall. It was inch perfect. Bukayo Saka, that ability to run beyond defenders, in behind them, and then the intelligence and the composure to cross the ball in just the right way to put Kerr under pressure from Sterling. The ball was only ever going to end up in the back of the Danish net, and it's game on once again.
Well, nobody ever claimed that being clobbered by Harry Maguire, deliberately or otherwise, was anything other than potentially painful, and Simon has needed some aftercare. And Harry Maguire is still muttering away like a man wronged.
Yeah, he can't let that fester. He has to put it out of his mind and get on with his game. But again, being booked now, however it happens, you've got to be so careful. He can't overstep the mark, get any challenges wrong from here on in.
Bruising night, one way or another, for the captain of Denmark. Mæhle. And then he couldn't give it him back. Saka. Kane spinning. No foul by Højbjerg. Taken forward by Vestergaard. Fed in here for Mæhle. Rolled forward for Kasper Dolberg! It's a decent low save from Jordan Pickford.
That's a sensational save. Great movement, great first touch from Dolberg to open the angle up for himself. That simple pass from Vestergaard really opens up England. He's offside probably as well, Dolberg, as he gets in behind there, but Pickford didn't know that. Really good save.
3 goals in the last 2 games for Kasper Dolberg. 2 against Wales, 1 critically clinchingly against the Czech Republic. Shaw's header. Sterling. Shaw. Number above Kane. Højbjerg. Larsen, Brathwaite, Delaney.
I think it's fair to say the Danes have settled better at the start of this second half, knocking the ball around really well.
Højbjerg. Struger Larsen, Brathwaite. Højbjerg. Brathwaite. Pickford chose to punch horizontally. That by Vestergaard, protected well by Delaney. Damsgaard, Højbjerg, flicked out wide for Mæhle and out of his reach.
Oh, Jordan Pickford had to deal with this ball in. Has to take all the pressure off his defenders by, punching clear. Could possibly have caught him, but didn't want to take any risks, and he got good distance on his punch. That's the important thing. You're going to punch it well clear of your penalty area.
Damsgaard. Brathwaite. Spooned up only to Maguire. He repels it for Kane. And now Sterling can look into the whites of the eyes of Christensen and leave him behind. Raheem Sterling. Harry Kane.
It's a naive challenge, this, from Mæhle. He's never going to get to the ball. Harry Kane wants him to, barge into the back of him, try and get to the ball, foul him, just stay on your feet. And Harry Kane's going nowhere, and he's given away a really cheap free kick there, Mæhle. He's put his team under severe pressure.
So Saka and Mount again. Free kick well bought by the England captain. Free kick for which the England captain once more joins the queue. Damsgaard a one-man wall. Mount flicks it in, Maguire attacks it! And Schmeichel gets across. Close, very, very close.
Oh, Maguire does really well to actually get to this ball. He's under severe pressure from those big Danish defenders, and I think the problem is there's not enough pace really on the header. It's still a brilliant save. It seems to be dropping in the corner.
Mæhle. Now by Stones.
There's such a strong header from Harry Kane, getting to that ball ahead of all those Danish defenders, but he just really flicks it goalwards. It's a bit loopy, and that enables Kasper Schmeichel to get across and make a great save. A bit more pace on that, power on it. I don't think the Danish keeper's keeping it out.
This stadium in the middle of May, Kasper Schmeichel had a wonderful FA Cup final for Leicester City, in which he produced 2 or 3 really brilliant saves. One, I think, in particular from Mason Mount. Dolberg, having another importantly good game here. Struger Larsen rolled up here for Brathwaite. Will settle for a corner.
Oh, the Danes using the wing-backs, using the width of the pitch really well, stretching England. Of course, playing with a back four, you struggle to get your full-backs out to wing-backs, and the Danes make good use of Struger Larsen down their right-hand side, getting into a dangerous position.
Denmark attacking the end, behind which their 5,000 Viking invaders are stationed. They're making a terrific din. Exhilaratingly colourful. Adding to a wonderful scene. Struger Larsen's outswinger. Maguire's header away. Chased up by Mæhle. Damsgaard. It's gone behind. Brathwaite has lashed it wide anyway.
Yeah, it just took too long. The opportunity was there to whip the ball in. Mason Mount closed him down. He just ran out of pitch. byline here. Had all of the ball gone out of play, maybe touch and go. Yeah, I just think he has the opportunity to cross it a little bit earlier. That is a really close call. I'm not sure the whole of the ball has crossed the line there.
I think Braithwaite didn't lash it into the roof of the net. In a diplomatic incident. Braithwaite. Højbjerg. Braithwaite let it go. Dolberg! Pickford's behind it.
Yeah, Dolberg has looked a lot brighter in the second half than he did in the first. Every ball that's played into him, he's securing it, he's getting on the turn, he's getting his shots in. England have to close him down quicker.
There's a lovely efficiency about Denmark's passing when they get over halfway. With certain geometry, clever angles, smart runs. They're wary of Kane. Saka. Mount. Raheem Sterling. Luke Shaw! Might have flown anywhere, in fact. It flew behind.
Yeah, that is the problem when a ball is whipped in like that. It could come off anybody and go into the back of the net. Really good play by Raheem Sterling. Thought he wasn't going to use the forward run of Luke Shaw, but he knows he's on his way. That ball comes off. Højbjerg could easily have nestled in at the far post. First time really we've seen Luke Shaw get forward down the left.
Mount's corner, Maguire's up again. Away as far as Shaw. Lifted back into the arms of Schmeichel, who's got rid in a hurry, seeing Damsgaard. Walker's made up ground again after Berners on. He makes up 3 or 4 yards on almost anyone. An hour played, and Italy still don't know.
It's been a really good hour. Neither side in complete control of the game. Brilliant for the neutral. This could go either way.
Not seeing many neutrals in here. We're even seated right behind the Danish commentators. Believe me, they're not neutral. Walker. Sharp from Saka. Phillips has a look. Lofts it up towards Mason Mount. It's a super pass. It's Mason Mount for England. And now Saka. Flicked out by Struger Larsen. Sumptuously taken by Braithwaite. That's terrific.
That's a great piece of defending eventually from Vestergaard. Great defensive recovery. As Mason Mount was in behind him, he just sprinted back. Good defensive line that he ran just to make sure that Mason Mount had to come back on himself rather than get a shot in straight away.
Phillips. Mount. Saka. Vestergaard with an uncompromising challenge, which is allowed to go by the Dutch referee. Phillips, equally uncompromising, equally clean. Sterling. Shaw. Kane. Shaw. Sterling. Up by Christensen. Shaw again. Kane. Bouncing off his clubmate, Højbjerg. Phillips mounts. Vestergaard stood his ground. Back again by Shaw. Delaney couldn't keep it. England whipping it up now. England's crowd whipping it up now. Rice. Sterling. Saka. Mount. Not a problem for Schmeichel.
That's sharp football from England, good movement. Sharp passing. The ball's just really stuck under Mount's feet. He needs that out in front of him so he can really whip it goalwards.
Now, Yusuf Poulsen, we saw at half-time, having quite an earnest conversation with his manager. He is one of 3 changes here, which I believe are about to occur. Christensen, by the looks of it, might be an enforced one. We'll see whether his ailment is immediately relevant. But unusually, the Danish coach actually used a part of the half-time interval to be out on the pitch, talking to Poulsen, presumably about how he could change the game.
Yeah, I'm sure it's more about fresh legs, because they pretty much emptied the tank against the Czech Republic, so this maybe makes real sense. England dominating the game for the last 5 minutes or so, so I can understand Human really, changing his personnel up here just to freshen it up, to get a foothold back in the game.
So Mikkel Damsgaard, who made the purest strike of the night, is the first to be withdrawn. Yusuf Poulsen, who was a starter throughout the group stage for the Danes, and who scored in 2 of those 3 games, who's going to come on. Possibly they have changed their minds here, and it's not Damsgaard to come off. Vass, another of those waiting his turn. His involvement might be pending the fitness or otherwise of Christensen. And the third one there is Christian Norgard, who is one of several in the Danish team who plays his football in England with Brentford, West London, newly promoted to the Premier League, and as yet, after all that, none of them have actually taken the field.
Yeah, they'll possibly just wait to see whether Christensen was going to be okay, because that might have changed the thought processes and the change of personnel. It looks okay though, Christensen.
Passed upon by Rice. See that by Strigger Larsen. And now the changes. And an impending English change. So here's the change at right wing back. It is a natural alteration. This is a bit of a job share in Danish international football between Strigger Larsen and Daniel Vass of Valencia. Damsgaard is indeed taking his leave. What an evening he will certainly never forget. Yusuf Poulsen is, as pre-advertised, his replacement. And the third to give way is Kasper Dolberg, as Christian Norgard arrives to win his 9th cap.
Yeah, the Danes bringing on an extra central midfielder in Christian Norgard, and that, for me, is to try and wrestle control of the game back, because at the moment Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice are running the show.
Look at Saka. Got away from Vestergaard, who threw back in a toe and did enough so that Vass, with his first touch of the ball, can lash it up towards halfway. Read by Maguire, taken up by Kane. Walker. Saka. Harness. And that will be his last touch as the immensely popular Jack Grealish prepares potentially to impact here. 22 minutes to satisfy an England crowd that thinks so much of him and expects so much of him. Saka, though, has been terrific.
He has. Of course, he played his part in the equaliser, getting in behind the Danish defence. He's done absolutely nothing wrong. I just think it's the wealth of kind of attacking options that Gareth has. His team are on top as well, so maybe he wants Grealish out there while his team are dominating the game. But Saka, another really solid performance. Only 19 years old as well, remember. Such a mature performance from him again.
A lot of love from his boss. There is a lot of love for this man, Jack Grealish of Aston Villa, Birmingham boy, who scored his very first Premier League goal at the expense of Kasper Schmeichel for Villa against Leicester some 6 years ago, who made his England debut in Denmark in September of last year.
Yeah, with Saka going off, it's Sterling down the right now, Grealish down the left, and Mason Mount continuing to play in that pocket of space in behind Harry Kane.
Free kick against Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw, this is, you know, poor defending, just drop off, stay with the runner, don't block him off like that, it's an obvious foul.
Different attacking dimension now for Denmark, with Yusuf Poulsen on, Dolberg withdrawn. Christensen, of course, forward. Lifted in by Vass, away by Maguire. Højbjerg. Vass. Cleared by Rice. Placed up by Christensen. 20 minutes to play.
Yeah, just look at the Danish setup. It's gone from 3-4-3 to more of a 3-5-2, so that extra central midfielder in Norgard. It should help the Danes stem that midfield control, that flow that England have had in the last 5-10 minutes or so.
I'll just say there's not a whole lot in it. To hurry. Poulsen. I won't let him past. Mela. Vestergaard. Delaney. Brathwaite. Picked off by Phillips, taken on by Kane, taken on by Grealish, watch him wriggle. Vass was caught nastily out of position, balked Jack Grealish and earned himself a pretty prompt yellow card.
That's a pretty obvious one. Grealish gets the ball out of his feet so quickly, gets wrong side of Vass, who just, you know, shoves him in the back, and referee in a great position to spot it.
England's substitute, very quick to make his point against Denmark's. Shaw and Grealish either side of the ball. Nails disappearing. Shaw playing it in. Away by Christensen. Phillips. Mount. Sterling, nicked by Mela, Regathered by Grealish, who'll have an idea. Rice. Kane. It's a super ball for Mason Mount. Faced by Mela. Mount can lift it in. And Schmeichel was backpedaling furiously.
Yeah, I just wonder whether the cross takes a touch off Mela here. That makes it then difficult for the goalkeeper. It just comes off the toe of the wing-back, and you know, Schmeichel can't afford to do anything but touch it over his crossbar.
England quickly on with it. Grealish. Mount. Sterling. Phillips. Oh, what a touch that is. Rice. Kane. Still Harry Kane, he's gone over. Free kick's the other way. Free kick is the other way. And Wembley is incandescent.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's the coming together in the penalty area. Is it possibly the earlier challenge? So it's not this one. And the referee actually blows for an earlier challenge for a Kane foul on a Danish player.
If that were the only offence, then there's got to be a good chance this is a penalty. It is being checked by VAR.
Was he actually given the free kick to Denmark for Harry Kane for simulation there? But there did look to be some contact. That's what the referee, and the only thing the referee was looking at. I'm absolutely amazed that he's penalised Kane for that. That is nonsense.
Mela. Isn't it? Højbjerg. Poulsen. Delaney. Højbjerg. Vass. Christensen. Vass. Poulsen's flick. Quarter of an hour. These are the moments. These are the passages, not just of a match, of an evening, but of a career, of a lifetime. Delaney. Vass. Delaney. Walker needs to be wary of Mela. England World Cup 2008. This stage it was one each. Euro 1996. At this stage it was one each. Kuntz and Shearer. World Cup 1990. Well, Gary Lineker was just about to equalise Andy Bramer's goal. One each into extra time. Sterling. It's a good tackle by Norgard. He's impressed in the few moments he's been on, though much fortunate not to be found guilty of tripping Harry Kane.
Oh, Christensen actually intercepted the ball, but he's stayed on the ground, clearly struggling. Does well to get to the ball, actually, because Harry Maguire's pinging that out towards Grealish. Good stretch. Really pays a price for defending so well.
They do have a natural replacement for Andreas Christensen on the Danish bench. It's Joachim Andersen, who, albeit in relegation, has had a very impressive season in the English Premier League with Fulham, on loan from Lyon in France. For Christensen, is still having an excellent tournament. His last football match on English soil was in the Premier League for Fulham at Old Trafford against Manchester United, when he would have gone more or less face to face with Luke Shaw. He's going to do the same again now. Bass. Now on Shaw. A little bit of afters. And Norgard.
Norgard played the forward ball. He felt he was caught intentionally by Mount.
Grealish. He's played in Mount. And Shaw. Away by Kerr. Phillips! It's a cracking hit.
His first touch was excellent. He is a long way out. It's such a good tournament. Catches it cleanly, but it's always wide of that right-hand post. But England certainly on top.
Calvin Phillips doesn't score goals very often. He waited until the last game of the Premier League season to score his first at that level for Leeds against West Brom in May. His job is principally carried out in the middle third. Delaney. Rice won't let him rest. Anderson out of play. The last 10 minutes, and the haunting realisation that one of these loses. Kane. Grealish, Shaw. Grealish. Made by Norgard, taken up at pace by Mailer. Quickly in for Brathwaite. Steered it behind Højbjerg, and Mount can go the other way. There's a foul from Delaney. He's an angry man.
I think eventually he gets a foot on the ball, but he does initially foul Mason Mount. The game is getting really stretched. The Dane's looking to counter-attack. Eventually he does okay, Delaney, but there's the initial pullback. I think that's why he's been penalised.
Luke Shaw's free kick. Stones up, Maguire up, Rice up. Kane in the thick of it. In by Shaw, and Stones backpedaling and craning.
That's not an easy chance. He's moving away from the target. He's just looking to really flick this ball goalwards and hope it really nestles in. It needs to be out in front of him, needs to be moving onto the ball. He's actually moving backwards. It's a difficult chance.
Could be a late one.
Yeah, for both teams really now, it's how strong are you mentally. Yes, it's an incredibly physical game, every game at this level is, but it's the fear of losing it going into the final 10 minutes, how much you're willing to risk to get to the final, but of course you run the risk of losing it, so you've got to stay mentally really strong.
Mela, Højbjerg. Norgard, Højbjerg, Poulsen. Højbjerg's giveaway, Grealish can't capitalise, forward by Anderson. Poulsen, Norgard, Delaney, Vass. Højbjerg, Poulsen, Delaney. Lifted up by Delaney. Will be on the reach of Martin Brathwaite.
Yeah, just the final ball in was a poor one, but the build-up play was really slick and precise.
Delaney winning his 60th cap for Denmark tonight. He got that big goal at the weekend. Whenever he has scored, Denmark have won. '50th game of the tournament. 39 goals so far. 140th now would in all probability be a winner. Tug of the shirt from Poulsen. He knows what's coming. Stern ticking off.
Oh, he's fortunate. Sometimes you can't help yourself. You just grab a chunk of shirt and pull on it. Surprised he hasn't been yellow carded for that.
Liftily done by Shaw. Taken up with purpose by Grealish. Inviting Walker forward. Sterling's outside of him, Mount is inside of him, Kane edge of the penalty area. Raheem Sterling. Jack Grealish picked off by Højbjerg.
Højbjerg for Denmark has been absolutely immense. His reading of the game there was brilliant.
Poulsen saw Brathwaite, but so did Stones. Vass. Brathwaite. Poulsen. Away by Stones, away by Maguire. Welcome back by Poulsen. Vass. In by Norgard. Grealish. Trapped in a cul-de-sac. Poulsen. Got a corner.
Well, this is where England really do have to concentrate. Clock ticking down. This is possibly the last opportunity to win it.
Denmark do have a substitute waiting to come on. This is Mathias Jensen, another Brentford player, who is replacing here Thomas Delaney. who has run himself almost into the ground. Vass with the corner. Vestergaard climbing and penalised.
That's good defending from England. And man-for-man marking, you've got to stay strong. That's exactly what every one of those England players do. They stay with their men and they don't get out-muscled.
It's always like this. Why? Why is it always like this? Aren't we supposed to enjoy it? Knocked back by Vestergaard. Pursued by Poulsen. Pickford had time to weigh the bounce. Phillips. Walker. The 90th minute. Sterling. Stones. Shaw. Grealish. Problem for Vass. Support from Shaw. Luke Shaw driving for England. Kane looking to hold it up. It's reached Declan Rice. Has kept it from Mailer. Walker. Phillips. Shaw. Mailer away from Rice. Six additional minutes. Time for anything. Walker. Clear of Højbjerg. He's found Grealish. Jack Grealish. Luke Shaw. Harry Kane. He's driven too wide.
Yeah, Harry Kane, they're looking to go the long way round, but there was good defending from 3 or 4 Danish players. The important thing there is stay on your feet, don't try and win the ball. That's what Kane wants. Gets a penalty, gets England to the final.
England to the final. Hasn't happened in any major competition for 2 long generations. It still might not happen tonight. Denmark, 29 years since their national miracle. Phillips. Mailer away from Rice. Mount. Sterling. Walker. Rice. Walker. Mailer. Poulsen. That's a good challenge from Shaw. And he's got a free kick.
It's very important Luke Shaw won that challenge. He drifted right in off that left-hand side to make the challenge. If he'd missed it, the Danes were away.
Sterling. Referees let that go. It's Raheem Sterling across goal. And it's Vestergaard at full reach. Momentary dozy Danish moment there defensively. Rice. Mount. Nice take. Sterling. Sterling. Kane. Phillips. Calvin Phillips high.
Well, there's so many red shirts back there, very difficult for England to pick their way through. And Kane couldn't get his shot away under pressure. And he moves it onto his left foot. Calvin Phillips is leaning back. And he always knows that sailing over the crossbar. And another opportunity for England is gone.
A lifetime of experience for anyone English, and they know it is generally this way. Baines feeling similar pain. Coming up to 4 minutes of stoppage time played, 2 minutes of stoppage time still to play. It's Harry Kane for England. Niggled at from behind by Vestergaard, and it's an England free kick.
Now, is this the moment for England? Just get the ball into the box and see what breaks. Kane once again protecting the ball ever so well under severe pressure. We're not one but two Danish defenders, and it's clumsy from Vestergaard. Just stay on your feet, don't try and win the ball there.
Prayers. And uplift and noise and swell. Wembley waits for Mason Mount. Mount's deep free kick, Maguire's climb. And Pickford's plunge, Schmeichel's plunge.
Yeah, once again he does well to get to the ball. Harry Maguire, he's strong, he times his jump well, but again there's not an awful lot of power on it. As he comes off maybe at a Danish head as well, it's a comfortable save in the end for Schmeichel.
Prior to tonight, 13 knockout games, 43 goals, 6 periods of extra time and 3 shootouts. We're heading towards a 7th out of 14. You've got to smile. Immensely calm and calming individual, the Danish coach, Kuhlmann. Last English thrust, at least for now. Sterling. Stepping away from Brathwaite. Crunching against Vestergaard. Beyond the 6 promised minutes. Bonus time for England. A goal now is a golden goal. There won't be anything after this. Walker flings it in. It came out to Phillips. Still no whistle. Calvin Phillips on by Maguire and just out of the reach of Grealish. Grealish, Mason Mount, Grealish again, and Kane. And Kerr made the stop. And there's the whistle, and there is the moment that might have made it the final whistle, but for Simon Kerr.
The Danes under severe pressure, their captain coming to the fore, England piling on the pressure. Just could not break through.
And so there will be more. nobody understands more than Gareth Southgate the aches and pains that go with following the English national side. The Danes are going through it all with equal angst. Damsgaard, beautiful free kick, half an hour. Kjær, own goal, 9 minutes after that. Nothing throughout a truly energetic second half. And so, after 90 minutes, it remains England 1, Denmark 1, and extra time will follow.
We're just about to go into extra time here in Wembley. Many thanks to our match commentary team so far in Peter Drury as well as Andy Hinchcliffe. Tony, I know you're extremely nervous for this moment, but why has England not managed to break through Denmark? If you look at their shots so far, they've had superior amount of shots over Denmark, 12 in total, majority of which coming in the second half. Why haven't they managed to break through Denmark in the second half, Tony?
I think Schmeichel's been exceptional. Their goalkeeper has been phenomenal. He's made a couple of world-class saves. They've defended resolutely. You know, they really have been strong, Denmark, in defence. But it's all England. You know, for the last 15, 20 minutes there, it was all England taking the game, trying to win the game in the 90 minutes. You know, chance after chance after chance. Obviously, Denmark did have their chances as well early on in the second half. But definitely at the end of the match, it was all England, and yeah, terribly nervous. I think every supporter is at the moment. You know, we're on a knife edge, as they say. But you know, there's some standing performance out there. You know, Carl Walker comes to mind, exceptional. You know, really exceptional player. That was the chance before the. There's the exceptional save. You know. Schmeichel, phenomenal goalkeeper. He reminds me of the old David Seaman save back in the day, and Gordon Banks, as it were. But you know, Denmark's had its chances as well. But I feel it's what you have to do. I've been in this situation. You know, the fans are more nervous than the players, to be completely honest with you. You have to keep focused. You have to keep playing your game, doing the simple passing, keeping the game very simple. I do feel that Denmark lost a bit of continuity with making 5 substitutes towards the end of the game, and Gareth only made 1. But it might be better now into the extra period that Denmark have got some fresher faces. I think Gareth maybe needs to freshen it up himself now and bring a couple of more bodies on to freshen it up, Michelle. But, you know, I'm a nervous wreck here, mate. I'd rather be playing, to be honest.
Do you find that Harry Kane is dropping a little bit too deep for your liking, Tony?
Yeah, but he's so effective with that, you know. Michelle, he's so effective how he comes off. He's made the first goal. Yeah, you know, other people have come into place. I did think Saka might be a little bit, Saka was causing so much damage with his pace. Vestergaard had a real problem. And on this side, I know Sterling's coming over to this side now. And we can really take Vestergaard to the cleaners now in the last 30 minutes. I think if he gets on the right, Sterling gets on the right-hand side, he can really, with his pace, I know John Jensen at the top of the show was really worried about that area of their left side, left back, left centre-half. I think if we can get to the ball to Sterling out there, we've got a chance of getting in behind him and get Harry the winner. Yes, he's a little bit deep, but that's what he's good at.
All right, thanks, Tony. It looks like we're ready for extra time here at Wembley. We'll pass you back on to our match commentary team there, Peter Drury and Andy Hinchcliffe.
This match of Denmark's miracle run, clean sheets for Peter Schmeichel and Chris Woods. And then in 2002 at the Big Swan Stadium, Niigata, the Japanese World Cup, England won by 3-0. Ferdinand Owen Heskey 3-0 up by half-time. That was clear-cut. This is anything but. Epics on successive Wembley nights. Italy-Spain was special. This one no less edgy. Do you have a hunch?
Not really. I think it's incredibly tight. England have been the dominant side towards the end of the of the 90 minutes. It's just whether they can replicate that. Sometimes you see the extra time really slows down, the tempo slows down. Both sets of players worried about, making the mistake that cost the team so dearly, rather than really take the bull by the horns and go and win it.
There's been a conversation between the referee and Højbjerg. Mackley has gone over to his fourth official there, Ovidiu Hatagan, the Romanian, with a message to pass on, the nature of which, I say, is not immediately clear. The game goes on. Jensen, Bulgaard from Phillips, deftness from Grealish, Rice. There's movement on the England bench. It may be that Phil Foden is imminent. And it is the case here, Andy, that England have the wherewithal in this half-hour period essentially to stick on half a fresh team.
Absolutely, and again it's fresh players but quality players and so many attacking players. And I think really the onus is on them with the bulk of the crowd behind them. They're at Wembley. I think the England fans will expect Gareth now to send on some of those dangerous attacking players to decide things.
Norgard, Jensen, Mæhle, Norgard, Mæhle. Left behind by Poulsen, pounced upon by Mount. Grealish crossing halfway is balked by Poulsen, and England have a free kick.
Well, at club level with Aston Villa, now it's international level. Jack Grealish has to get used to being bundled to the ground because he's so difficult to dispossess, such a strong ball carrier. It's a big strength in his game, and players just struggle to get the ball off him. Invariably they end up fouling him.
Stones, Walker, it's a smashing ball for Harry Kane. Harry Kane, Schmeichel threw out a big palm. Shaw. Grealish. Rice. Walker. Sterling wriggling. Raheem Sterling for England. And away by Jensen. Problem for Vestergaard.
And it seems to be as Raheem Sterling drove into the penalty area. It's Vestergaard who confronted him, and it's got a hand maybe in the face, but it's completely accidental from Sterling. Strong defending though from Vestergaard. And once again Schmeichel did well, big right hand, but once again England exploit the space in behind Vestergaard. That was what happened for the goal when Saka got in. This time it's Harry Kane. Does the right thing, goes across Schmeichel, and that's not an easy save. The ball arrives, on the bounce. It's a brilliantly timed save from Schmeichel. Criticism from an England point of view, no one is following in. Mason Mount is caught on his heels on the edge of the box. You've got to close in as Kane shoots.
Changes. Declan Rice has run another immensely impressive race, and Jordan Henderson is formidable leader of men, certainly at club level, and instinctive leader of men at any level is on in his stead. Mason Mount has also given way in his case to Phil Foden. And these should be the points of difference for England. This is where a depth of squad tells, where players who are, to all intents and purposes, interchangeable. There's no dip in quality when one replaces the other.
Here England have Grealish on the left, Foden in a central position and Sterling out on the right. I just wonder whether they might actually send Foden out to the right, Sterling out to the left, and play Grealish as really that number 10, but we'll see whether England do switch it around as this extra time period goes on.
Dipping a shoulder and swinging a hip. Grealish, Shaw. Middled Anderson. Grealish toying, Foden. Walker, Sterling. Foden, Sterling. Tumbles into the box. Henderson helps him out. Nicked out by Vass. And Shaw against Højbjerg to win England the corner.
Yeah, Raheem Sterling's coming into the game more and more. We didn't see much of him in the second period of normal time. He's looking really sharp in extra time. He gets blocked off here by Vestergaard, but it's not a foul. The defender just stands his ground and the ball just bounces off him.
Phil Foden to take. There is England's cue, led by Henderson. Stones, Maguire, Kane. Foden lifts it in. Snatched away by Vass. Foden and Grealish. Pummeled out by Schmeichel. Foden. Grealish. Jack Grealish. Raheem Sterling got under it.
Raheem Sterling, his finishing's not been up to the standard we've seen so far in the tournament, but Foden coming on, Grealish coming on has really livened England up.
Schmeichel having a super game, Schmeichel having to have a super game.
He does well, Sterling, just to open up a bit of space for himself, but he really lashes at it, he goes to pure power. He needs the control, he needs to whip it with his instep and get the accuracy there.
Walker. He's got a free kick. Henderson. Maguire. Shaw. Grealish. Henderson. Walker. Foden. Twisting off Jensen. Højbjerg habitually in the right place.
Denmark having to dig really deep here, they just can't get into the England half.
Listen. Foden. Sterling. Foden. Henderson. Vestergaard. A vast impediment.
Simple football, but really effective. Just pass and move. Great run off the ball from Henderson. Just can't beat that man at the near post. He is a giant, though, Vestergaard, but you've got to try and get that ball over him.
100 minutes and beyond. Flung in by Foden. Forcefully out by Vass. Shaw. Foden. Henderson. Walker. Sterling. Problem for Mela. Sterling's round the outside of him. Raheem Sterling, that's brilliant. He's over. Penalty. Mesmerising. Just mesmerising. They could not see those blurry feet.
I just mentioned that Raheem Sterling was coming more and more into the game as an opportunity for Mela to clear. He doesn't take it, and I'm not sure there's an awful lot of contact there on Raheem Sterling. Is there an obvious foul in there? Is he caught? I'm not convinced that he is. Of course, VAR will be checking this, but does Mela actually catch Sterling? I don't think he does, and I think England will be fortunate to get the penalty here.
Harry Kane waits. Vestergaard questions. VAR check ongoing. Danny Macaulay waits to hear from Paul van Berkel. Two nations hold their breath. Schmeichel inquires. Danes behind that goal hold their heads.
I know all defenders complain when a penalty is given, but I'm not sure about the contact there on Sterling, but it seems as though it has been given.
Harry Kane has the football. He has scored 14 goals against Kasper Schmeichel. He has scored 37 goals for England. Few would sit alongside this one for substance and significance. The captain of England. Harry Kane, and Kane again! Stop him if you can! Schmeichel, momentarily heroic, but deprived of his moment by Kane's instinct and thirst for goal. And the Prince is on his feet.
Well, the footballing gods really have smiled on England, because I wasn't sure about the award of the penalty. And Schmeichel makes a terrific save, but it just falls back into the path of Harry Kane, who's there to tuck it away. It's a simple finish in the end. When it comes to Raheem Sterling's positivity, they get maybe a bit of good fortune with the award of the penalty, but Schmeichel is so unlucky. He'll be so disappointed he's not the ball out wide. It comes back centrally, and it's so easy for Kane to tuck it home. And what an opportunity now for England to get to the European Championship final.
England a quarter of an hour away, just more, from ending a 55-year wait. Kieran Trippier couldn't watch, and he wasn't alone. A 10th tournament goal for Harry Kane. Golden Boot winner at the last World Cup. And now 4 to his name, within 1 of the top of the list at the European Championship. Only Gary Lineker has as many tournament goals for England. And now Denmark must chase it. Mæhle. Norgard. Højbjerg. Mæhle beaten to it by Walker, who can spring a counter here. Grealish all on his own on the other side. Kane alongside. Norgard shoulder to shoulder. England's free kick.
Again, brilliant from Harry Kane. He just gets up in support of Kyle Walker. He says, give me the ball, I'll protect it. I'll draw the challenge. Has a little look. He knows that Norgard's coming in. And he gets the free kick. And England are a bit of pressure from Denmark as they stepped up the pitch. England relieve all that. And once again, it's Kane making that happen.
Safe to say the mood has changed. This has the potential to be, and I was there night, the Schmeichel wall has been broken down. Foden. Shaw. Grealish. Hooked away by Vass. Brathwaite. After the goal, by the way, Denmark had brought on an additional striker in Jonas Vind, who has replaced Vestergaard. A natural enough alteration to make. Vint hasn't been involved in the competition since that opening day, full of emotion against Finland and all that that brought with it. Half-time, extra time, and here is the moment when time stood still.
Is it the Matthias Jensen challenge? But I just think Raheem Sterling's already going to ground. I'm not convinced by that at all, but again, England don't care. They got the awarded penalty. VAR had a good check of it. There's a good fortune here for Harry Kane, the way the ball breaks back to him. You've got a feel for Schmeichel and Denmark, but England have been pushing and pushing, and probably do deserve to be ahead.
A pile of English joy. And at the bottom of the pile, the ultimate English gem. Half-time, extra time. Kane following up his own penalty. England 2-1 to the good. Wembley bounces. All bar a little corner that might be Copenhagen.
The big question now is, can the Danes really completely switch their mindset? They were just purely defensive, looking to keep England out. Now they need a goal. Yes, they made a change, bringing on Vind, taking up Vestergaard, but they've got to go for it here. They could play into England's hands, who are so effective and fresh on the counter-attack. England get that third goal, it's all over.
3 years ago in Russia, Gareth Southgate's team scored early and lost from ahead. Euro 1996, when he was playing, England scored early. Alan Shearer, 3 minutes, and ultimately on penalties, lost. On this occasion, England trailed. Now they lead. One last Danish huddle. One last uplifting conversation. One last moment of conviction passed on by one player to another that this is still for Denmark achievable. Kieran Trippier is going to come on here. And the information we're getting is that Jack Grealish, only recently on as a sub, is having to be replaced.
Well, that's an interesting one. Unless Jack Grealish is injured, he's the type of player, really, you give the ball to, he protects it so well, he draws fouls. It could have been perfect for this final 15 minutes, but clearly Gareth Southgate, tactically thinks Trippier's the man to see the job through, unless Jack has picked up a knock.
Well, if it was a matter of choice, it is a brave call from Gareth Southgate. He's not shy of making a brave call. He's here to win the game. He's here to win the tournament. He's got Foden running through here. It's Phil Foden with Anderson at his back. Getting a throw down by the corner flag is a very good prize into the second period of extra time.
Looks like Trippier's going to make up a midfield trio alongside Calvin Phillips and Jordan Henderson. And he's a natural defender, but he can step in and play in midfield, but clearly he's been sent out there just to nullify that Danish threat.
Phillips, Trippier. Time now for elaboration from the Danes, no time for embroidered pretty football. Theirs must be urgent football, possibly direct football. As England seek to break it up.
Initially I thought Trippier was going to play in midfield. Looks as if England has switched to a back three and wing-backs with Trippier and Shaw as the wing-backs. So they've got that extra central defender in Kyle Walker, who switched from right back to right-hand sided centre-half, so looking to just hold the Danes off, really.
England, tens of millions of people are hiding behind tens of millions of sofas. In by Anderson, just too heavy. And all over Denmark, there are faces that look like that, and like that. It's being scratched. What is there left to do?
Yeah, the Danes will be hoping that England changing their system, a bit more defensive, extra bodies back to try and keep Denmark out. If they sit on the edge of their own box, invite maybe Denmark on, is there that one opportunity they need to get the equaliser?
Crashed back by Kerr. Beautifully taken by Brathwaite. Anderson's after it. Anderson claims it. Vass. Højbjerg. Poulsen. Norgard. Brathwaite. Shaw out for Kane. Højbjerg through in his frame again. Anderson, Mæhle, Poulsen's flick. Vint at the back of Stones, and Pickford with an uncertain clearance. Norgard, Poulsen. Trippier away, back by Anderson. Sharp turn from Yusuf Poulsen. Scythed out by Shaw, came to Norgard. Højbjerg, Vass. Foden out of a tight spot. Shaw back into that tight spot. Anderson. Hoisted up high by Walker, that's nearly hit the Wembley arch.
That's what you call clearing your lines.
Two balls on the field, go again. Kerr. Højbjerg. Vint. Anderson. Norgard. Anderson. Højbjerg. Stops Maguire. Norgard. Højbjerg. Nicked away by Henderson. Sterling had to check his run. He starts his run now, though, and he's clear of Mæhle, and he's clear of Anderson. It's Raheem Sterling. And Kane has to twist out.
That's good defending from forcing Kane away from goal, but England have the ball in the Danish half. That's exactly the position they want to be in. They're ahead. Game management, just keep hold of the ball, frustrate the Danes.
Trippier for Walker, who's attracted by the corner flag. Little time to go yet. Keeping the ball does win the game for England now. Shaw. Kane. Shaw. And Shaw again. It's another heavy challenge. This time on Henderson, but nothing doing. England in territory here beyond the memory of the majority who watch. Mela. Brathwaite! Pickford was scrambling. It did get a nick. It is a Danish corner.
Smart, sharp work from Brathwaite to turn John Stones and get a snapshot in. Stones recovers well and just clips his shin just past the post.
That's to take. Danish belief refuelled. Behind that goal, a suburb of Copenhagen. Vass flings it in. Kane heads away. Mela. All the way back by Højbjerg. There's not a blade of grass on this field that that man hasn't trodden. Forward again by Schmeichel. Out again by Maguire. Højbjerg. Kjær. Mela. Wind couldn't take it. Foden does. Kane's on his way. Schmeichel's come to meet him. Kane in charge of him down-handled.
That's all England really have got now is the counter-attack. They're quite happy at 2-1 up to sit in their own half. They've changed their shape, plenty of bodies back. Far more passive than they were in the first half of extra time, and it is a little bit risky. It's just a question of whether Danes with their bulk of possession can create that chance they need.
Mela. In by Joachim Mela. Away and behind by Maguire.
That's such an important header because Simon Kjær is coming in at the far post. He might not score, but he'll certainly keep it alive, and Maguire was brave.
4 minutes to play. Denmark committing the lot to it. That's with the corner, just beyond Anderson. Norgard beaten to it by Sterling, who can run for the hills here. Mela got a heel on it. Mela clear of Trippier. Mela clear of Phillips, but not of Walker. For Walker, it's just about distance and time. Henderson. Trippier.
Yeah, suddenly for England, the corner flags look very appealing.
Henderson. Feels dangerous in the extreme to begin anything valedictory about Denmark because things can still happen. Kane. But if Denmark are about to fall, let them fall with grace, because their contribution to this competition has been so far beyond normal, has shown such immensely good comportment. Henderson. Sterling. And compassion and competitiveness and colour. An example to the sporting world. They have brought to this tournament what sport alone brings. And it's humanity with its capacity to unify. But now they are a little over a minute and a half from falling to an England team on the cusp of modern history. Henderson. From England, this is game management plus.
Yeah, this is why you practice keeping possession in training. Situations like this, just frustrate your opponents, keep the ball away from them.
Kane. The last minute. 55 years, and now the last minute. 1966, black and white television. They're waving goodbye. They're preparing to shed a tear. It's coming. Is it? Poulsen wins a header. Out by Maguire. Seconds. Kane. Sterling. Raheem Sterling. Schmeichel came to smother. But a corner in itself may win the game.
Yeah, yet another brilliant save from Kasper Schmeichel. That tells the story in itself, the amount of saves the Danish keeper has had to make. And Raheem Sterling has really burst into life the last half an hour. But England have kept the ball ever so well, and they can relax a little bit now, just keep the ball in the corner and run the clock down.
Just this additional minute. You can keep that smile, Raheem. See it as a rehearsal. This English nation is about to beam. Denmark must lash it forward. This is all they've got left. Anderson. Vass. The challenge is fair. The game is all but won. It's England. England at last. English history. England into a European Championship final for the very first time. And for the first time since the Queen shook hands with Bobby Moore, Wembley will host its own nation at the climax of a major tournament. Gareth Southgate, likeable, intelligent, driven, shaped by his sometimes challenging past, has brought together here a group of men who believed. Denmark, their contribution to this tournament weighed in a currency far more valuable than goals and mere tournament triumph. Denmark depart with pride intact, with reputation enhanced, and with Christian Eriksen happily healthy. But perhaps it's coming. It just might be coming. England will play Italy in the European Championship final on Sunday, and Wembley licks its lips.
Well, we've had two extraordinary semi-finals. Tonight was really touch and go. Denmark made a real contest of it. You have to feel for them what they've been through in this tournament. But for England, it wasn't their best performance, far from it. But it was effective. They got there, they got over the line. It doesn't matter how it happens, but when you've been waiting 55 years, just get to the final. England have got there. Maybe a bit of good fortune about the penalty, the way it came back off Schmeichel, but Harry Kane stuck the ball away. Kane, absolutely immense for England, and what a final we have in prospect.
The final score at Wembley tonight: England 2, Denmark 1. England, Italy, Wembley, Sunday.
Many thanks to our match commentary team over in Wembley, Peter Drury and Andy Hinchcliffe, and it's jubilation all over in Wembley, around Wembley, and I'm sure with Tony as well, you must be absolutely buzzing. Their first final since 1966, and for it to happen in England as well, Tony.
I'm just I better not be stopped for words, but I am, unbelievable. Many congratulations to Gareth and the team. They've done unbelievably well, and they've got to, hopefully everyone's still awake in Malaysia and seeing what a magnificent team performance. Sterling was incredible. Carl Walker, my God, he was so quick and effective at the back. They all done their jobs. Denmark did their bit. I thought, for me, Denmark run out of steam and were non-existent from about the 70th minute into the game. But, England, they've done better than I did. I took my country to the semi-final, and I fell at this stage. Heartbreak penalties. Thank God now we've gone one step further. This group of players don't know about that situation. They're creating new stories. They're creating their own story with that in Gareth, and it's going to be a fantastic final at the weekend. I can't wait. Kids coming home. Michelle, Tony, it's coming home.
Tony, how much do you think the fans played a role today? Because you've played in front of English crowd, you know exactly how brutal they can be when you're chasing the game, when you're not scoring enough goals. We saw it against Scotland as well, the boos that you can hear from the crowd, even via television. But today, they got behind the team, they were singing your favorite song, just pushing for England, for true to that final line. How big of a role do you think the fans in Wembley here played today?
I think they were enormous. We're only human beings, and I think they got the penalty for us as well. I don't think it was a penalty. I think the one in general play in the 90 minutes may have been more of a penalty, but I think you've got 60,000 English fans screaming at the referee there, and it's VAR didn't want to. We'll be going down to VAR and making sure that they didn't turn that over. No, they were enormous today, and to be honest with you, the team. If the team play nervous, if the team don't go for it, then the crowd get on their back. But the team took the initiative. They were really positive, And like I said, they had the enthusiasm and the drive to take the game. For the last 20 minutes, Denmark was on the ropes, and even in extras, you felt it coming. And it would have been an injustice if it had gone to pens and we may have lost on that occasion. The boys did brilliantly, and the fans were amazing, and it was instrumental, Michelle. I think the fans were incredible help on the day, and hopefully they'll be there on Sunday, hopefully when we lift it.
Yeah, commiserations as well to Kasper Hjulmand and the Denmark team. Their journey ends here in UEFA Euro 2020, but what an impact they've made as well, Denmark, especially after the start that they've had to this tournament. But the final is upon us this weekend. It is going to be Italy versus England. The revived Italian side under Roberto Mancini and his England team under Gareth Southgate will meet this weekend, and we've got all